So without further ado, let's go to old-time friend Paul Semtex Daley, the pride of England, joining us right now via the magic of Zoom. There he is, Semtex, my man. How are you, Paul?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my! It has been a while, my friend, since we last spoke. You're active, you're fighting, and I believe you'll be fighting. You'll be returning to action in May, correct? For that Bellator show that is headlined by MVP.
Yeah, May 13th will be my last one. It will be my retirement fight. After many years in the game, the hours on the road and hours in the gym, years have caught up with me, and now every morning I wake up with a bad back, and I'm just tired.
You're tired. So this is it. This is it. You will retire after this fight on May 13th.
Yeah, most definitely. I've put in a lot of time in the sport, and I'm in a position to retire, fortunately. So yeah, I'm going to retire. I don't want to be one of those fighters who's getting knocked out all the time by the younger guys. I want to be a guy who goes out, when I want to go out. Difficult
decision to make?
Not really. I've been planning for it for a long time, I've been planning for it for a long time. I've had a lot of fights. Bellator have treated me well while I've been there, and I always knew it was going to be my last promotion. So, I put things in place so that when I do call it a day, I can do so comfortably.
Was it very important for you whenever that time came to have your last fight in England?
Yeah, definitely. I tried to get it in. Hamasi was going to be my last fight, but Bellator wanted to put it in America. And I don't think the UK at the time were allowing shows, people to travel over for productions to produce a show over here. So, that was going to be my last fight. Then they offered Jason Jackson with title implications. So then I took that fight, and then that didn't go my way. So, I owe it to my fans, my family, to have this last fight over here in the UK.
So in reality, you were prepared to walk away, because that Sabah Homasi fight was last April 2021. You were prepared to walk away a year ago almost.
Yeah, I was done. But the fight, it was an entertaining fight. It went well. It could have gone his way, but it went my way. And then the Jason Jackson fight was kind of flat. And I could have that as my last. Well, that was my last fight in America.
Right.
It didn't go the way I wanted it, but this is going to be my last fight for sure, and it will be here in the UK.
Part of the reason why, as you say, it was flat, is it just maybe because you're starting to just kind of reach the end of the road and you're lacking that motivation?
Yeah, I don't feel good saying it, but yeah, that's the truth. I made attempts to get up, and I wanted to show a little bit of my ground game working for Kimuras and stuff like that, but my feeling coming into the fight, my feeling after the fight was one of I just didn't give a fuck, So I lost. I've lost plenty of fights. Even with the Bellator dangling the carrot of it being having title implications, the fight wasn't going my way, and I didn't want to put that extra effort in to change the scorecards as such. I gave a little push at the end, but I was in no rush to burst to my feet or, defend these takedowns. I was a flat performance by myself.
And so at this point, they haven't announced who you're fighting yet, have they?
No, but they've given me a short list. So I have a short list of opponents.
Who do we got? Let's pick.
I can't say.
Come on, why not? It's your last fight. Who cares? No one's going to get mad at you.
But it's not an interesting fight, to be fair. It's not a name, which I don't understand. It's a young gun from the Eastern Bloc. He's 25 years old, decent record, striker. So it makes for a good fight on paper. He's not with Bellator at the moment, but this is his big opportunity to show up on a Bellator card and take out the aging veteran in myself. So it makes for a good storyline.
Would you have, if you could have written the script yourself, is there one guy that you would retire against? If you had your pick, anyone, how does it end?
Someone suggested Tyron Woodley. I thought that would be an interesting fight.
Oh wow,
that was fought back in the day.
Yeah,
he went on to achieve the UFC what title. Things have been going for him well for him in the fight game recently. Having got knocked out by the YouTuber Jake Paul. So I thought it was, and he inboxed me and I said, look, I think it'll be a good fight. He says along the lines of people have written him off already, and he's plotting something, but I wasn't in that plan, so he declined to fight me.
Okay, and so that was the one. You're fighting.
That would have been interesting. Right. I think it would have been interesting. It was a close fight, and he went on to achieve great things. And I like him; he's a likable guy. So I thought it was a good fight to put together.
And so if it's this young guy, like, does that motivate you, or maybe just the fact that it's the retirement fight, that's motivation enough? If it's just some guy, okay, you don't want to go out on a limb.
I like Wembley. I like fighting at Wembley.
Right.
I like my family and friends being able to see me fight. And I'm always motivated to train. Sometimes sometimes in the fight you need that extra bit, and it hasn't been there recently. The Sabah victory was Sabah massive victory. That was just instinct, and But I think for this fight, you're going to see one of the best versions of myself. I definitely want to go out with one of my career best performances.
Is that putting a lot of pressure on you?
Not really, because it maybe this is what I need. Maybe I haven't felt like I've had the pressure for a while. Since beating MVP in the Grand Prix tournament. I haven't had that kind of pressure, so I've not really wanted to train or been motivated to train. But now, this being the final fight, family, friends, students, neighbors are going to be watching it. So yeah, it'll be my best.
It's making me a little bit sad, Paul. I mean, you've been such a fixture. 2003, you debuted. 2003, my friend. Could you have ever imagined almost 20 years you would have lasted in this game?
That's ridiculous. No, and I don't think anyone could have imagined it, especially the guys over at the UFC. I don't think there is another fighter in the history of the sport who's been dealt the cards I have and gone on to achieve the success I have in the cage. I put a post out. No one was making money fighting. I was in the one place where you can make decent money fighting, and they banned me for life. And then how many years later, 15 years later, I'm still in the sport. I've made good money. My retirement is secure. My family is secure. I don't think nobody else has done that. And I've still kept some relevance in the game. I can go all over the world and be recognized, and I was only in the UFC for 3 fights. So wow. A lot of that recognition comes from the work that I've done on the road. I don't think there's another fighter, bar Fedor, that can say he has that kind of recognition, having not spent years and years in the UFC.
Have you come to terms with the whole UFC thing? Like, do you think it's going to be something that's going to bother you forever, or are you at peace with it all?
It's a cliche, but everything happens for a reason. And I've always believed that people, if they want to see you fight, they're going to come with you. They're going to follow you. And I've since day one, I've been knocking people out. People have always loved to see me fight. I've always been a feature in every promotion I've been with. I've always been a main event. I've been on the posters. And I think if you have that, then you can have a career, even if it meant me going from the MGM Grand to fighting in front of 500 people, I knew I would always get back to the heights of the sport, because there's very few people that bring the kind of intensity to the cage when I'm on my best form.
And so at this point, do you feel as though, it's been such a long run? I was just talking to Randy Couture about this. Do you feel as though Semtex, with this crazy sport, with the amount of fights that are going on every weekend and fighters, again, I say this all the time, and the fans might get annoyed of me continue to say it, but I don't feel like we honor the legends of this game enough. I don't think we remind people. Like you posted that thing on your Instagram with the Cage Rage belt and all this stuff. Like, how many people watching the sport now even know what Cage Rage is? How many know what Elite XC is? Does that? It bums me out. That bums me out. Does that not bum you out?
It doesn't bum me out, but it kind of says that it's time to step back. I'm doing these tours with the young fighters from my gym, and I'm going to all these MMA shows and doing these interclubs. And, their coach will say, "Oh, I'm going to take a picture of him." And the fighters that he's training, like, who is he? Who is the guy? Nobody knows. And that's my time. That's my time that says, you know what? I've done 2 generations worth in the sport. This next generation, they don't really care who I am. They're walking like McGregor, or they're marketing themselves with pink hair like the Sugar Shane or something. No one knows who Semtex is in that age category. The young ones coming up. So it's time to step back.
When were you your happiest in this sport? Like when you think back to like, wow, it was all with fond memories. What comes to mind?
You know what I said? Cage Rage. I think really? Cage Rage was for me. Yeah, I know people will say, well, the UFC, Elite FC, Strike Force, but for me, because I was at my best. I was 26. I was a British champion and I was a world champion. And to people now that doesn't mean much, but at the time, I keep saying this, it was Anderson Silva who was a champion. It was Vitor Belfort who was also the other champions. So for me, it was a major part of my career, and I owe it to Cage Rage for pretty much most of my career. We was on Sky Sports here in the UK, which is our main sporting network before any other promotion. Cage Rage was selling out the same arena that Bellator are just in now. We was doing that in 2007 and selling that out with me as the main event. So those were my best times, and those are the ones that I remember most. Can
you explain? Because I saw, again, as I said, I saw on your Instagram, you had to basically like recreate the belt because they took the belt away from you. Yeah. What happened there?
No, they didn't take the belt away from me. They gave it to Anderson Silva.
Well, okay.
And, I think
why?
Yeah, I think Gary Shaw only had 1 belt. I think it was just before they decided to concentrate more on Elite XC in America and the whole and Kimbo Slice, RIP. So yeah, they only made 1 world belt and they gave it to Anderson Silva. And although I could probably knock Anderson Silva out, I thought at the time it was probably best to just let him fly back to Brazil with the belt. So I let him take it.
And so now you found someone who recreated it for you.
Yeah. So I reached out to Budo Apparel on Instagram, and they made the belt for me at a fraction of the cost as well. But it's not the same, but it will do. It will look good enough in the photo shoots and hanging on my wall in the office.
That time with Elite XC, Pro Elite, and they were gobbling up all the different promotions all over the world. How crazy was that? And are you, are you, like, in retrospect, you look back on that time like, oh man, I wish they didn't do that. I wish they did do that. Like, how do you look back on that? Because it was an insane Gary Shaw, Scala, all that craziness.
Scala, yeah. It was fun. Elite XC was a good time as well. Gary Shaw brought a different energy to MMA. He was coming from boxing, and obviously his son Scala brought something different. And it was enjoyable. I was traveling the world with the promotion. I got to fight in Atlantic City, Miami. It was fun. Yeah.
Do you ever think if you would have gone down the boxing route, things would be like? Do you ever think about that, or that wasn't really? I mean, you had that left hand.
Do you know what? People, I love fighting, but people have some misconception about me. If you ask anyone from when I was a kid, my dream was always to be a ninja. So my attachment is not just to fighting; it's to the martial arts. And I started off in the traditional martial arts, traditional jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. And to fight and be a martial artist and get paid has always been a dream of mine, and one that I've achieved. Boxing, as much as I'm a fan of the sport, if my heart's not in it, and it's something that I've never missed it. No, I've never missed the opportunity to regret it, because I'm a boxing fan. I've never thought of myself as a boxer. I've always thought of myself as a martial artist. So
I want to pick up. I want to mention this text message, because you and it's not like I'm breaking any rules. You posted a screenshot of it on your story of me reaching out to you, but you did say something in the text that kind of caught my eye, when I reached out to you, okay, I said, hey, mate, hope you're doing well. Is it true May will be your last one? You wrote, I'm good, brother. Yes, 100%. This will be my last MMA fight. And I thought it was interesting that you put the word MMA in there, not just fight.
Yeah.
Am I looking into things, or is there a reason why you
Possibly.
Oh, what do we got, Paul? What do we got?
Yeah, possibly. Possibly.
What do you mean? And again, you posted this on the thing, so I was like, all right, this is fair game. What is it? Are we thinking kickboxing?
No, we're not thinking kickboxing. There are some opportunities that may be available to me in different arenas of combat sport.
Interesting. So this might not be the last time we see you competing. It would just be the last time we see you competing in MMA.
Yeah, but the thing that is on the table is not something that will be another career. It will be more of a spectacle than anything.
Paul Daley versus Jake Paul.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
You're kind of on the right path, but
I like it.
You're almost.
I got it. Can I guess? No guess?
No,
okay,
we're not doing this guessing. No guessing.
I mean, you wrote MMA. I was like, oh, what does Paul have up his sleeve? Okay, that is interesting. Okay, this is interesting. Oh, wow. Okay, now I'm all. Now the wheels are turning. I don't even know if I'm on the right path. In any event, for you, are you still going? You have the gym and everything, so you're still going to be a part of the sport, right? Are you going to coach? What are you going to?
Yeah.
What's the next step?
I'm. For me, it's just more time for me to rest. It's a hell of a long time doing at the pace I've done it. If you see how many fights I've had, and I've never really had a break. So my main focus is on resting. And yeah, the gym is there, but the gym has always been there. I've been a professional fighter, but I've always ran the gym. I've always been a coach, which I don't know if many people know that. But yeah, I have other businesses and other business opportunities, and I'm okay. People are worried. People, some of the younger fighters that my coaches coach are like, well, what's he going to do? Like, shit, do you think I've been fighting for free? I've done extremely well out of the sport, and I'm not one to brag, but you very rarely see me complain about how much I'm compensated in the sport. And I know they print one thing, but what they print is not always the whole story. So,
right.
I've done well out of the sport, and I'm gonna be okay.
How's the body feeling?
The body's fucked, bro.
Really? What hurts the most?
My back.
Really?
My back is, and you always hear it. I went to like a pre-fight medical. The guy says, "Oh, you've had a lot of fights. A couple more fights, you're gonna start to feel it on your body." And I dismissed him, and then I've started waking up with a bad back. I've got to get my weight down for this fight. So I'm on my runs, my joints are hurting. I'm falling asleep while I'm watching Netflix films, but it's only 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's catching up with me. I never thought it'd be like that, but it's definitely time to stop fighting or trying to compete at the level that I am. There's younger, more hungry fighters than I am. I'm not hungry. I can still fight, but I'm not hungry. I'm not interested in all the gimmicky stuff on Instagram and that shit. That's not me. So I'm going to leave it to the young ones, and I'm just going to step back.
I remember way back in the day when I was trying to convince you to go on Twitter. Now you're on Instagram. You're like Mr. Social Media.
Yeah. Hey, but remember, I'm not Mr. Social Media. My management signed me up to Instagram. Yeah. I didn't even want to be on all of that. And I still don't. It has been useful. It's been useful because it gives people a little insight.
Sure.
Not the whole picture, obviously, but it gives people a little insight. And it's been great for my business in the gym at Spirit Dojo Legacy. Follow that page. So, yeah.
Are you worried about your brain, all the shots over the years?
Why am I stuttering? Am I slurring?
No, but you did. You mentioned you mentioned falling asleep in the middle of the day, so that seems to be something that is top of mind.
No,
20 years getting punched is a lot.
Yeah, it's 20. I'm kind of unscathed in this sport. I've got I'm fans of fighters that are older than me and they're getting knocked out and they're still returning to the cage. I'm like, I want to be done way before then. I don't ever want that to be me. Okay, I've lost a few as I've got older, but there's submissions. You've not seen me like, you've never seen me stiffened out like an ironing board, like straight planking. And when that starts to happen and it happens repeatedly, then I think you should step back. And I think there's some fighters out there that haven't, and they probably should. And I don't want to be one of those guys.
Can I ask you, I'm putting you on the spot here, but again, a lot of new fans. You've had some of the greatest knockouts in the history of this sport, and especially with that left hand. I mean, just a thing of beauty where you have stiffened people, right? I mean, scary, vicious knockouts. Yes, can we get the top three Semtex knockouts? 3, 2, 1. Can you rank them for us?
Top three.
Top three Semtex knockouts.
Number three would be Dustin Hazlett.
Okay. Ooh.
For me.
Yeah, UFC.
Because, that was bad.
That was bad. Let me get the. I'm gonna guess top of mind. That was 2009. Was that 2009? Let me see here, or maybe 2010. I'm pulling it up. I just want the people to know so they have a reference. They can look these up. Dustin Hazlett was 2010, January of 2010. So I was almost right on the money. Yeah. A vicious KO, UFC 108. I wonder if your second one is going to be around that. Okay, what's your second one?
No, my second one is going to be Scott Smith.
Oh, my God. Wow, if that's your second,
classic.
I can't imagine what's your favorite. I mean, that was so amazing. December of 2010. In fact, I was just in St. Louis over the weekend. That fight was in St. Louis. That was the last time. The last time I was in St. Louis was for that card. Remember how vicious that card was? You, Babalu, Robbie Lawler, Matt Lindland. You remember that?
Yeah, legends on there. Some of whom people will not even know, like Matt Lindland.
Yeah.
Shit. But anyway, that one comes in at number 2.
Okay, number 1.
Number 1, because of the sequence, has to be Brendan Ward, because it was poetry in motion, spinning elbow off the arm drag to a jumping, flying, switch knee finish. It doesn't get better than that.
That's number 1. January of 2017.
That's number 1. God. That's number 1, definitely. And it was. I think I was the co-main event, or maybe possibly the co-main event to Tito Ortiz, who was cheesy as he is, was one of the first heroes of the sport. Man, I looked up at him. Looked up to him because. He had the shit together with Punishment Athletics. He was sharp on the marketing, and he used to bring energy to the cage. So that was a surreal moment because I was co-main event to Tito. So that's definitely number 1.
What a highlight reel, man. Unbelievable. Could I ask you, Paul, before I let you go, like if you say you're fine and you did it the right way, almost 20 years is an incredible achievement. If you could give advice to someone just entering the sport right now, what comes to mind? What would you tell a youngster getting into the sport, hoping to have the longevity and the success that you had?
It's hard because there's nobody. Everybody's mindset has changed. Everybody has a gimmick, and it's kind of irritating. But my advice would be to be yourself. And I think very few people in the sport. This is not even to do with training or anything like that. I think just generally, if you're genuine, and fans will receive that, and you'll have a career. These gimmick guys, it might get you views, it might get you likes, but it doesn't get you the real love that the sport can give you for over 20 years. And I've not been on these big shows. I've done it the hard way. But I've done it.
Do you wish that now that you're walking away for guys like you who have done it the hard way, who put in the time, who've sacrificed their bodies, do you wish that there was something, a pension, something for you guys? You put in the time, there's some sort of retired fighters association that takes care of you guys.
If you're smart, I started fighting professionally in 2007, I think. And I've been putting into a private pension from my fight purses since 2007. Wow. So I'm okay.
You're right? All right. I'm happy to hear that. Amazing. The debut was June 29, 2003. Do you remember the name of the event?
Shit. No.
Do you remember where it was?
Extreme Brawl.
Yeah.
Brawl?
Extreme Brawl. What number?
Yeah.
What number? What number? Do you remember the number?
Extreme Brawl 8.
Ah, close. 3. You were going to say it.
I was going to say 3. Yeah, I was going to say.
Do you remember the opponent?
Yeah. John Donnelly.
John Connolly.
See, I was close.
You were close.
See, maybe I took a few
punches
to the head.
And where was it? Where was it?
Bracknell Leisure Centre.
That's right. That's right. And amazingly, you won that fight via KO, of course, lost the next 2.
Yep.
And then you went on a bit of a
kept
run.
going.
You kept going, man.
You
kept going. What a run. Congratulations on a great career, my friend. It was amazing. Always looked forward to a Semtex fight, no matter the card. And you were always very kind to me and always gave me the time. And I will never forget you. And I will, make sure that people don't forget you. And so thank you for all the memories. Thank you for all the fights. And good luck in May. And I hope that you go out with a W, my friend. You deserve that.
Thank you very much. And thank you for being true to me as well. Because like you say, I've known you for a long while. And you don't have to have me on the show. You're extremely successful and you're doing your thing. So I appreciate it.
For sure, man. Without people like you, I don't get to do this for a living. So thank you so much, Paul, and good luck to you.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon. There he is.
Bye.
Semtex, the freaking legend.